Thursday, October 9th. This is the 18th meeting of 2025 and the 47th regular meeting of the current term of the Metropolitan Council of Nashville and Davidson County. Will all members of the council, as well as the public, please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. The invocation is being offered this evening by Pastor Brian Hockett. Pastor Hockett leads Born Again Church on West Trinity Lane and is the guest of District 2 Council Member Quante Toombs, who is celebrating her 15th anniversary this evening. So congrats to her and her husband, D'Angelo. Pastor Hockett, go ahead, sir.
Father God, we thank you for today. We thank you for your son. We thank you for your spirit. And we thank you, Father God, for each council member that's here today. We thank you for each servant leader. We thank you for each citizen. And we thank you for the purpose and the plan that's meant to go forth in this meeting tonight. We pray your word that actually says that we don't have to do things in our own understanding, but in all our ways we can acknowledge you and you would direct our path. We pray for that guidance tonight. We pray for that strength. We pray for that grace under the weight of these decisions, dear Father. And just thank you that you are leading, guiding, and that we are trusting you. In Jesus' name we pray and we thank you. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Pastor Hockett. Welcome, council members and members of the community, to a Thursday meeting due to the special primary election on Tuesday. Congrats to those victors, and thank you to everyone who put themselves forward in the two races. Thank you to our election commission staff and volunteers, and thank you to all the voters. The deadline to register to vote for the December 2nd special election for Congressional District 7 is November the 3rd. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. As of October 1st, 7,061 survivors of domestic violence have been identified by Metro Nashville Police in Nashville just since January 1st of this year. 11 members of our community died at the hands of their abuser in the last year. And I thank council members for gathering to remember them this past weekend, as well as honor all the community partners who are working to both lessen and end these tragedies. According to the CDC, about 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men in the United States report having experienced severe physical violence from a partner in their lifetime. We encourage all members of our community to be aware of and for council members to please share the supportive services of Metro's Office of Family Safety. Also, regarding our families and public health and safety, I want to thank the Metro Public Health Department for partnering with us for a 3rd year on a pop-up vaccination clinic to fight flu. As of right now, 68 folks were vaccinated this evening. That is down from last year. We had 85 folks vaccinated last year. This is, again, our 3rd annual time to do this. And as elected officials, and sadly, with vaccine skepticism and misinformation on the rise, it is important that we set a positive example by listening to the guidance of public health experts. There will be another Fight Flu Day hosted by Metro Health at 3 sites across the city on October 21st. So please be on the lookout for that. Council members, I attended the Think Tennessee Policy Forum last week and brought back some resources from that are on your desk. Also on your desks is a memo regarding the General Sessions Court judicial vacancy, and I'm going to share the key points of that memo here for the public's awareness. Right. On September 19th, 2025, Governor Bill Lee appointed Judge Jim Todd to fill the vacancy created in Criminal Court Division 3 by Judge Cheryl Blackburn's retirement. Notice of Judge Todd's appointment and the resulting vacancy in the General Sessions Court was received by me and the Metro Council Office on September 25th. Vacancies occurring on the General Sessions Court are to be filled by the council, and any person so appointed shall serve until a successor is elected at the next general election. The next general election is scheduled for August 6th of 2026. Rule 49 of the Council Rules of Procedure provides the process for filling vacancies of public officials. I am announcing this vacancy at the October 9th meeting of the council. At least 4 weeks must pass before the election to fill the vacancy occurs. November 18th, 2025 is the first council meeting date following the 4-week period. As it relates to nominations, all nominations must be in writing, signed by the nominator and filed with the Metro Clerk by 4 p.m. on October 16th, here at the Historic Courthouse in City Hall, Suite 205. Candidates will be required to appear before the Rules, Confirmations, and Public Elections Committee of the Council on November 4th to be interviewed to ensure that the candidates meet the required qualifications. And then lastly, as to the election, this will be held as the first agenda item at the November 18th council meeting in accordance with Council Rules 48.2 and 48.3. Okay. We appreciate Judge Todd and Judge Cheryl Blackburn's service to Nashville. So thank you to them both. All right. Without objection, we will suspend the calling of the roll and ask that the clerk please record the names of the members that are present throughout the meeting. Is there a motion for approval of the minutes of the meeting of September 16th, 2025? Okay, there is a motion and a second. Without objection, and seeing no one seeking to be recognized, anyone for a change to the minutes? No. The minutes of the meeting of September 16th are approved. Mr. Clerk, are there any messages from the mayor?
There are no messages from the mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. All right, now we are moving into the heart of our agenda, Section E, appointees and nominees. This portion of the agenda shares all persons who are scheduled to appear before the Rules, Confirmations, and Public Elections Committee for an interview this evening. Referrals back to the committee will be by rule as part of the council's 2-meeting process for elections and confirmations. No votes will be taken by the body in this section of the agenda other than for deferrals. Chair Cash, your report, please, sir.
Thanks. First, there was a withdrawal. The Airport Authority appointment of Karina Aguirre for a term expiring April 5th, 2032 has been withdrawn.
Withdrawn.
And then for the Procurement Standards Board, we voted 7 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting for Shannon Raybon for a term expiring July 20th, 2028. And that's all in that section, right?
That's correct. Now, Section F, confirmations. You are recognized for your committee report again for appointees in the second step of your committee's 2-meeting process. Go ahead.
All right. For the Action Commission, the reappointment of Michael Cousin for a term expiring November 15th, 2028. For the Action Commission, the appointment of Megan Godby for a term expiring July 2028, July 1st, 2028. For the Auditorium Commission, Van Pinnock for a term expiring June 30th, 2028. For the Board of Mechanical, Plumbing, and Electrical Examiners and Appeals, reappointment of Weston Eiler for a term expiring on September 21, 2029. For the Board of Mechanical, Plumbing, and Electrical Examiners and Appeals, the reappointment of Morgan Miller Wallace for a term expiring September 21st, 2029. For the Historical Commission, the appointment of Caitlin Jones for a term expiring August 10th, 2026. And for the Historic Zoning Commission, again, Caitlin Jones, she's the liaison between the two. Caitlin Jones for a term expiring June 30th, 2030.
All right, Mr. Cash, can I have a consolidated motion for these confirmations?
I move the nominees.
Okay, there is a motion. It is properly seconded, consolidating all of these folks for confirmation. Does anyone wish to remove an item from this consolidated motion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any voting no or abstaining? All right. Okay, to our confirmed appointees, if you did choose to return to the council chamber this evening, which is not required, do please stand as I call your names so that we can recognize you. Council has confirmed the reappointment of Michael Cousin to the Metro Action Commission, and the appointment of Megan Godby to the Action Commission. Council has confirmed the appointment of Van Pennick to the Auditorium Commission. To the Board of Mechanical, Plumbing, and Electrical Examiners, Council has confirmed the reappointments of Weston Eiler and Morgan Miller Wallace. Council has confirmed the appointments, the appointment to the Historical Commission of Caitlin Jones and the appointment to the Historical Zoning Commission also of Caitlin Jones. Okay. So congratulations to everyone. It does not appear that anyone is with us here this evening. So if you are watching at home or on the replay, please hear that we appreciate your willingness to serve our city and we congratulate you. Thank you. All right, next is section G on our agenda, which is the public comment period. Members of the public who are Tennessee residents wishing to speak during public comment may sign up at a table outside the council chamber from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. on the day of a council meeting. Public comment is limited to 20 minutes total at council meetings, and each speaker is allowed up to 2 minutes to speak. Persons speaking on agenda items must be prioritized to comply with state law. All right. First, for public comment is Nadir Dagher, speaking regarding agenda item 72, resolution 1547, speaking in support. You are recognized.
Council members, citizens of Nashville, my name is Nadir Dagher. I am a party member in the Party for Socialism and Liberation and a proud member of this community. I came here to urge you to adopt the Bill 1547, to denounce the Israeli genocide in Gaza and the U.S. government complicity with it. Over 67,000 people were killed in the past 2 years, including 20,000 children, using U.S. bombs, bombers, and more than that, $30 billion of our tax money. Those billions of dollars should be invested in our education system, healthcare, infrastructure, and not bomb Palestinians who done no harm to our country. This is not an American war. It is a moral failure in our government. By passing this resolution, Nashville could have said no to genocide. Such a resolution is not out of norm for American cities and American city councils. In 1980s, many cities actually passed resolutions to declare these cities as nuclear-free cities. In 2000s, many cities issued resolutions to denounce and reject the war in Iraq. More recently, cities and counties across the United States actually issued ceasefire resolutions and divestment from the genocide. When the world turned their heads away, when they did, Germany committed genocide in Namibia, and again against its Jewish citizens. We can't let that happen again. So I urge you to think about this and to do it for your children and for our children. Thank you.
Thank you. There is no clapping during public comment. Next is Laurie Ann Cardoza-Moore, speaking on agenda item 72, resolution 1547, in opposition. I did want to remind members of the public, if you would please, if you have a sign, keep it within the frame of your person. You cannot block the people behind you from their ability to see, please. Is Laurie Ann Cardoza-Moore here and seeking to speak? Okay. Next is Melissa Alvarez Zabriskie, again on agenda item 72, resolution 1547, in opposition. You're recognized. Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, my message is simple. This proposal does nothing for anyone in Nashville. And also, there is currently a ceasefire, and the war is falling apart right now, which we should all be grateful for and be celebrating. Well, I guess not everybody is very happy about that. I sent to the sponsor of this proposal messages that I received as a Jewish person in Nashville. I sent them to her for her to hear them, for her to listen to them, and so she can see what it's like to be Jewish when there is an entire, on the other side of the globe, there is a conflict on the other side of the globe, and how the fallout affects people in her community. Her exact words to me were, I cannot be responsible for what happens to Jews in my city. I believe that city council has an obligation to all constituents, not just one people. She told me I should call the police for some crazy person that's calling me. When I told her I called the police and that I was waiting. But the police don't respond as quickly when they see a name like Alvarez for a last name. And she told me she understood what that was like and that she understood what it's like to be a Hispanic person and a Jew in Nashville. That just goes to show how out of touch this resolution is. I expect all city council members have an obligation to keep us safe. Jenny, you can make all the faces you want, but it's not funny. It's not a laughing matter.
Please address the chair. Don't address a particular.
I expect all council members that have an obligation to keep all members in the city safe and to listen to our experiences. As a person of color, as a woman, I expect to be heard. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Lyndon Allen, speaking on agenda item 72, resolution 1547, in opposition. Go ahead, sir, you're recognized.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. As a proud member of the Christian community here in the state of Tennessee and as a business person, I've led over 100 pastors to Israel. I've been to Israel over 10 times. I've seen with my own eyes what this nation does for all who live within it. Sadly, we are now the proud, or I should say, sad citizens to see a second Holocaust happen. This is the worst Holocaust since the last during World War II. Now, we can focus on the thousands of people who have lost their precious lives in Gaza. We can, and we should. But that blame should fall squarely on the shoulders of Hamas, because nothing of the sort that is taking place in Israel today happened on October 6th, 2023. There was peace. When a retaliation took place, it took place because, and this is key, because of a provocation. Never forget the provocation. 1,200 people died in a population of 10 million. 253 of their precious citizens were taken into captivity, some of whom were our own. To put that into proportional terms, what would America do, proportionately speaking, if 41,000 citizens in a day died here and 10,000 of our citizens taken into captivity? What would we do? Israel is fighting our enemies without our soldiers. Hamas, funded by Iran declared, and I'm speaking of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, death to America and death to Israel.
Your time has concluded. Your time is concluded, sir.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Next is Eilert Berger, speaking on agenda item 72, resolution 1547, in opposition. Go ahead, you're recognized.
Thanks. I'm Ayelet Berger. It's very brief. On behalf of the Jewish community, we want to thank the Metro Council, MNPS, MNPD, and the collective religious and non-religious citizens of Nashville alike. The last 2 years have shown us not only the underbelly of humanity, but also the decency and moral clarity that so many of us share. So thank you. And if I may, please keep showing up.
Thank you. Next is Daryl Heading, speaking on agenda item 72, resolution 1547, in opposition. Go ahead, sir.
Good evening. I'd like to start off by thanking the committee for voting to indefinitely defer Resolution 1547. It is, as was noted in the hearing, divisive and inflammatory for several reasons, and especially in light of events in recent days that saw our president negotiate a peace deal to end the conflict between Gaza and Israel. What that deal proves is the truth many of us have known since that war started, that Israel would have been prepared to end the war at any point from October 8th, 2023 onwards, had the Palestinians been willing to return the hostages and lay down their weapons. Every day from then until now, and all the destruction it brought is on the Palestinians' heads, not Israel's. The truth is that Israel's conduct in this war is not something to condemn, but something to exemplify. Despite facing an enemy that uses civilians as human shields, hospitals as bases of operations, mosques as weapons stockpiles, and as a revenue source, aid as a revenue source, and homes as missile launching bases, Israel has done its best to warn civilians when attacks are imminent, to move civilians out of harm's way, and to provide aid safely and beyond the reach of Hamas. Mark my words, Israel's tactics in this war will be studied by future American warriors as the new standard to aspire to in urban warfare. As Americans, we should realize by now that we face the same enemy as Israel, and that the global intifada started by Hamas has already come to our shores. We see it on college campuses around the country. We see it on the streets of DC, where Jews have been shot down. We see it in protests around the country, where they shout from the river to the sea incessantly. We see it in the FBI's data, where 64% of religiously motivated hate crimes are directed towards Jews today. The time to stand with the Jewish community is now, not to pass resolutions against them. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Mr. Steve Ryder, speaking on agenda item 142. This is ordinance 2025-1011 in opposition. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the council. I'm addressing Commerce Center Park downtown, which P&H Properties is going to acquire rent-free for up to 50 years. Now, there is a side deal with this transaction for the fire department, but that's just for some office space. That's really window dressing. With all due respect to all the people involved with this transaction, this is not in the best interest of the citizens of Nashville, Davidson County. When land is dedicated to a public park, it should remain a public park. The citizens of this town, that's their park. You should not go out there and give it up for private development, which is what is happening here. You're here to serve the public. That's a public park. So I'm asking you today to vote against that. Just so you know, P&H Properties is involved in litigation at Chancery Court right now. I don't even know if you know these people or if you've done your due diligence. But the transaction that you're doing here tonight is certainly not in the best interest of the citizens of Nashville, Davidson County. And I want to tell you something about a park board that's held in very high regard throughout the United States, and that's in Minneapolis. The people there are passionate about their parks. And guess what they have? They have an elected park board. The mayor of Minneapolis would never even consider a transaction like this. Jacob Frey would never do that. It just would not happen. So I'm asking the council to vote no on this, and then the alternative for Mayor O'Connell to veto this legislation, because it's not in the best interest of anybody in this town except the private developers who are going to make a fortune on this $10 million piece of property. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next is Sabina Muyadin, speaking on agenda item 72, resolution 1547 in support. You're recognized.
Good evening, Vice Mayor and council members. My name is Sabina Moyedin. I'm the Executive Director of the American Muslim Advisory Council. We work with the Muslim community across Tennessee. There are about 50 to 60,000 Muslims here in Nashville and over 3,000 Palestinians here in Nashville. This is a local issue. It's been 2 years where I'm seeing my community scared to even talk about Palestinian rights. They're seeing family members dismembered, killed, buried under the rubble, and they can't talk about it. We've seen kids at school, if they're wearing a keffiyeh, they're getting in trouble because of the backlash. People are scared, and I get it. As council member, you're scared. What's going to happen? Why do we have to vote on this? This is not, this is not Nashville city business. It is. It absolutely is. If you cannot name the genocide that's happening, if you cannot speak out to it, how are you going to speak out to the fascist government we have now taking away our constitutional rights? They're stifling our free speech. We have pro-Palestinian protesters speaking up on the rights of Palestinians who are being shut down, they're deporting them. If you can't speak out on this, how are you going to protect us here in this city? The rule of law matters. Israel should be held accountable to international laws, just like our president needs to be held accountable to international laws. I expect you all, I hope you all will understand and support our community and support and speak out against the genocide. Thank you.
Thank you. There is no clapping. To the person holding the flag, sir, you can't hold it like that. You're blocking the folks behind you, okay? You are. Next is Hani Nofal, speaking on agenda item 72, resolution 1547, in support. Go ahead, sir.
Good evening, council members. My name is Hani Nofal. I'm a proud Nashville native, a graduate of Hillwood High School and Vanderbilt University, a resident of this great city, a former U.S. Navy nuclear submarine officer who served this nation for more than 11 years, and the grandchild of a Palestinian family displaced by Israeli occupation several decades ago. I stand before you tonight, not in anger, but in conscience.
Pardon me. Sir, I've told you about the flag, okay? Okay, but I see people's heads behind you, okay? There's somebody sitting immediately behind you. There's no way if you're lifting that up. I'm just letting you know, hold it down. Okay, I will restore his time, but I'd already asked you. Go ahead, sir.
I stand before you tonight, not in anger, but in conscience. I resigned my commission as a lieutenant commander during the Biden administration because I could no longer serve in silence while my own government remained complicit in what the world increasingly recognizes as a genocidal campaign against the Palestinian people in Gaza. Councilmember Welch's resolution speaks not only to law, it speaks to the moral heart of our democracy. It invokes the Genocide Convention and the findings of respected international institutions that the secular state of Israel's actions amount to war crimes and crimes against humanity. It calls upon the United States to halt the arms and financial support that enable this devastation and to reassert our leadership through peace and the protection of human life. During the committee hearing earlier this evening, some remarked that this resolution is inflammatory and that our city should not involve itself in international affairs because they do not impact local communities. But what is truly inflammatory is the daily killing of civilians by an American ally using American-made weapons under the cover of American diplomacy. What is truly inflammatory is the silence of good people while our alleged ally commits atrocities financed by our tax dollars. And to say this does not affect our communities is to close our eyes to the truth. Every day I see people here in Nashville, friends, neighbors, coworkers, who are exhausted, distracted, and grieving. They are unable to focus on their work, unable to be fully present with their families because they're watching a Holocaust unfold against their fellow human beings, against their conscience and under the flag of a nation they love. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, no clapping. Next is Ian Chambers on agenda item 72, resolution 1547, also in support. Go ahead.
Hi, yes. My name is Ian Chambers. I am speaking as a member of the Jewish community in Nashville, and I am speaking in favor of this resolution. As an anti-Zionist Jew, the state of Israel does nothing to keep us safe. And the Jewish Federation would have you believe that they oppose this resolution because of the timing, that it is close to Yom Kippur, the holiest time in our Jewish calendar. And that it's not timed for that. The anniversary of October 7th weighs heavily on our hearts and in so many of our community. We remember 1,195 lives lost. Calling for an end to the violence and to name the genocide for what it is not a desecration of anyone's memory, but rather a way to honor the memory of so many that lost their lives at the hands of Israel's violent and militaristic state apparatus. We, as anti-Zionist Jews, believe that we are capable of feeling the grief of lives lost in our own communities on October 7th, while also grieving the tens of thousands of lives lost to Israel's genocidal attacks. To claim that calling this level of destruction, displacement, starvation, illness caused to the people of Palestine, and the loss of life, genocide, is somehow anti-Semitic is dangerous and puts those of us speaking out for the oppressed, who are already mostly from marginalized communities, more at risk in a time when fascism is rapidly taking a stronger hold on our lives. In addition to this, the misuse of anti-Semitic accusations regarding the timing of this resolution around Yom Kippur, in our eyes, misses the mark completely. Yom Kippur is about atoning for our collective sins. What better way to for us to honor our ancient traditions of acknowledging the harm that we have inflicted on others than by showing up for our community? As Jews who believe in the world without colonialism, Zionism, fascism, if we believe in the world to come, we must speak up when genocide is being committed in our name. We have been doing so for the past 2 years, and yet even when the international organizations like the United Nations declared that the acts of Israel and the United States are genocidal, many are still claiming to be.
Your time has concluded.
From the river to the sea. Palestine
No,
will be
your
free.
time has concluded. Stop. Hey, we're not yelling or clapping in here. Next is Alex Cohn, speaking on agenda item 72, resolution 1547, in opposition.
Good evening. Thank you to the Vice Mayor and the Council for the opportunity to speak tonight. Last Wednesday afternoon, a few hours before the beginning of Yom Kippur, I was made aware of this absurd resolution. My first thought, really my first gut reaction was betrayal. How can it not be? A little over a year ago, I stood at the same stand, pleading with this same council about doing something about all the anti-Semitic hate that was going on in our streets in Nashville. What I didn't realize at that time is that there was hate within these council chambers. I could use my time to tell this council how the resolution is riddled with inaccuracies, or how it fails to acknowledge the terrorist attack that took place on October 7th, 2023. I could use my time to talk about why are we meddling in international affairs when we have plenty of important matters right here in Nashville that need to be addressed. But instead, I'm just going to say I'm disappointed. Certain council members have failed this city. Certain council members do not know what is best for Nashville. Fortunately, we have some really great servants in this council that can overcome the failings of some. Again, thank you for your time. I wish for better days for this city and for this council. And Councilmember Welsh, I wish you shalom. Thank you.
All right, with 10 persons having spoken and only just over a minute of residual time left, I will declare the public comment closed. Okay. Now we are moving into section H of our agenda regarding resolutions, and then section I, closely followed, bills on public hearing. Spanish interpretation services are provided for all Metro Council public hearings. Council Office Team Member Karina Valdez is here as the interpreter. Ms. Valdez, will you please share how you can help?
Los servicios de interpretación en español estarán disponibles en la audiencia pública.
Gracias. We appreciate you. For those wishing to speak this evening as part of public hearings, please do state your name, but it is not required for you to provide your exact address if you do not wish to do so. You may want to tell us in what neighborhood or area you live and what your connection to an agenda item or project is, or who your council member is. Okay? All right. First resolution on public hearing is Agenda Item 1, Resolution 2025-1509, sponsor Horton. This is a resolution exempting Maggie's Place located at 905 51st Avenue North and 5100 Illinois Avenue from the minimum distance requirements for obtaining a beer permit. And I'm not even going to read that code section because it's lengthy. Mr. Horton, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to open the public hearing, please.
Okay. I declare the public hearing open. Would all members of the public here in support of this resolution, please raise your hand? Okay. Would all members of the public here in opposition to this resolution, please raise your hand? Seeing no one here in opposition, does the gentleman here in support seek to be recognized? Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yes, thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Ryan Mercurio, Belcher Sykes Harrington, here on behalf of Maggie's Place. Just want to say thank you to Councilman Horton for his support. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else seeking to be recognized for purposes of this public hearing on this resolution? All right, sir, you're all set. There's no questions or anything like that at this time. Okay, so I will declare the public hearing closed. And Mr. Horton, you are going to need to get your committee report from Chair Hill next, please, sir.
Committee reports, please.
Yep. Go ahead, Ms. Hill.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. We voted for approval, 5 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, so it's back to you, Mr. Horton.
Move for approval, please.
All right, is there a second? Okay, there is a motion to approve. It is properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this resolution? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, you have adopted this resolution. Next is Agenda Item 2, Resolution 2025-1510, sponsor Parker. This is a resolution exempting 1050 East Trinity Lane, Unit 1, from the minimum distance requirements for obtaining a short-term rental property not owner-occupied permit. Mr. Parker, you are recognized, sir.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports, please.
Okay, Ms. Hill for the Committee Report of Government Operations.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. We voted for approval, 5 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, over to you now, Mr. Parker.
Thank you. I'd like to open the public hearing.
Okay, I declare the public hearing open for Mr. Parker's Resolution 1510. Would all members of the public here in support of this resolution, please raise your hand? Okay. Would all members of the public here in opposition to this bill, please raise your hand? All right. Does the gentleman here in opposition seek to be recognized or speak? Mr. Ryder, do you seek to speak in opposition? Okay.
Since we have a housing crisis in this town, we don't need more short-term rental properties. We have enough problems trying to find places for people to go. We have people who go out there do long-term rental contracts and lease them out as short-term rentals. And I want to see some restrictions on that. Now, with all due respect to Mr. Parker, this deal can probably go through, but I just want to make clear, we're not going to solve the housing crisis in this town if we keep on doing unregulated, just go out and just say, do more short-term rentals. That's not going to get us where we need to go in this town. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is anyone else seeking to be recognized? Seeing none, I will declare the public hearing closed. It's back to you, Mr. Parker, for a motion.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to move approval with a brief comment.
Is there a second? Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. So I actually generally agree with everything Mr. Ryder just said. In this case, this is the Vibe short-term rental complex on East Trinity by Grimes. You might have been by that area. This development was developed, built, sold as all short-term rental units. It has been that way since it was constructed. In the case of this unit, the person who had purchased the unit passed away, and there is an ownership transfer to that person's son. And they requested that they be able to continue operation as a short-term rental. I don't think it's reasonable to ask them to be the only unit in the building that's trying to secure a long-term lease when we kind of know the nuisance activity of Airbnb is happening in every other unit in the complex. So I usually don't support these for new builds, for new properties to be converted to STR. But in this case, given that the activity has been going on there since this entire complex was constructed, I did agree to help the family retain get a new permit after the property transfer. So with that explanation, I'll renew my motion to approve.
All right. There is a motion to approve that was properly seconded. You've heard the explanation of Mr. Parker, the sponsor. Is there any further discussion on this resolution? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Ms. Swar, are you an abstention? Okay, Mr. Clerk, if you would please record Ms. Swar as an abstention. All right, this resolution has passed and been adopted. All right, now we are rolling into section I, the bills on public hearing. First among those are agenda items 3 and 4. They are companions to each other. Ordinance BL 2025-703 and 704, sponsors Gadd, Horton, and Allen. 703 is an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by applying a historic landmark overlay district for property located at 4301 Harding Pike, 296 feet southwest of Woodlawn Drive, Zone CS, and located within the Harding White Bridge Urban Design Overlay. This is 3.99 acres, and its companion 704 requiring certain materials. Ms. Gadd, you are recognized.
Yes, Madam President. I would like to move to defer with a brief comment.
Okay, is there, if you could specify your deferral to what date, ma'am?
I would like to move the deferral to the first meeting in December.
Okay. Has it been noticed for a different date?
It has not.
Okay. Okay, so it has, just for clarity, it's been advertised for November, but it is still your intent to defer to the first meeting in December?
Yes, it is. Okay, yeah, I don't think the notices have gone out as of yet. But anyways, sorry, the planning table is confirming that the public notices have not gone out yet for the Planning Commission. So I would like to confirm the date for the first meeting in December.
In December. Is there a second for the motion to defer to the first meeting in December? Okay, Ms. Gadd, go ahead.
Thank you so much. Members here will be bringing this back, hopefully the first meeting of December, having had some additional conversations. This is a beautiful part of the neighborhood, a historic spire from an old movie theater that we're going to be able to work to hopefully landmark, keep that preservation of history as well as the building continues to grow in new uses. So with that, I'll have more on it when we come back. So thank you so much.
Okay.
And with that, I move the deferral.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a motion to defer both 703 and 704 to the first meeting in December. It was already properly seconded. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right. This is both are moved to the first meeting in December. Next is agenda item 5, ordinance BL 2025-727, sponsor Benedict. This is an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by changing from RS 7.5 to R8A zoning for property located at 800 Gwynn Drive at the southeast corner of Patapsco Street and Gwynn Drive. This is 0.32 acres. Councilmember Benedict, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Withdraw.
Okay, this matter is withdrawn. All right, 727 is withdrawn. All right, next is agenda item 6, ordinance BL 2025-909, sponsor Taylor. I do not see Mr. Taylor here. Staff, Ms. Gamble, thank you, is signed on. Sponsors Taylor and Gamble. This is an ordinance amending Chapter 17.08, 17.36, and 17.40 of the Metro Code pertaining to creating a commercial compatibility overlay district. Ms. Gamble, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to move to open the public hearing.
All right. I declare the public hearing open for Councilman Taylor and Gamble's ordinance 909. Would all members of the public here in support of this bill please raise your hand? Would all members of the public here in opposition to this bill please raise your hand? All right, seeing no one here on either side, Ms. Gamble, I will declare the public hearing closed, and it is back to you for a motion to get the bill before us.
Thank you. I would like to move the substitute bill.
If you could move approval first and second it, and then after that, move the substitute.
Yes, thank you.
And second for that as well. Okay, is there anything you'd like to share about the substitute? Not necessary?
Planning Commission initiated the substitute.
Okay, it's recommended by the Planning Commission. Yes. Thank you for the clarification. Okay, so the bill is properly before us, and Ms. Gamble has made a motion to substitute, which is properly seconded. Is there any discussion on the substitute? Okay, seeing none, all in favor of the motion to substitute, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, and now it's back to you, Ms. Gamble, for a motion to approve on second reading as substituted.
Move for approval.
All right, properly seconded. Is there any discussion on the motion to approve on second reading as substituted? Ms. Allen, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam President. I'll just say very briefly, I happened to be at the Planning Commission the day that this was discussed, and they expressed a lot of appreciation for Councilmember Taylor for working with them and incorporating a lot of changes that they suggested. And it simply creates some criteria for commercial areas that are very close to residential that I think are good, and I support this.
Great. Is there any other discussion on this bill on second reading? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, this has passed its second of three readings as substituted. Next is Agenda Item 7, Ordinance BL 2025-958, sponsors Gamble, Parker, Allen, and Ewing. This is an ordinance amending Title 17 of the Metro Code of Laws to add a new electrical vehicle charging facility use and related definitions and conditions to the zoning code. Councilmember Gamble, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to move to open the public hearing.
Okay. I declare the public hearing open. Would all, and that is for Ms. Gamble's ordinance 958. Would all members of the public here in support of this bill please raise your hand? Thank you. Would all members of the public here in opposition to this bill please raise your hand? Seeing no one here in opposition, does the gentleman here in support seek to be recognized? He is shaking his head no, Ms. Gamble. And so with that, I will declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you for a motion on this bill.
Thank you. I'd like to move for approval with a brief comment.
Go ahead, ma'am.
This bill establishes standards for electric vehicle charging facilities, which we currently do not have in our zoning code as a land use. And so we are excited that we're getting in front of a potential request for these type of services. And that's why we're bringing this bill forward today. Thank you.
All right, thank you. There is a motion to approve on second reading, properly seconded. Is there any further discussion on this ordinance? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, this has passed its second of three readings. All right, next is Agenda Item 8, Ordinance BL 2025-1005, sponsors Gamble, Parker, Benedict, and Horton. This is an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, relative to the creation of two new zoning districts called Residential Neighborhood, RN, and Residential Limited, RL, all of which is more particularly described therein. Ms. Gamble, you are recognized. Go ahead.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to move to defer the public hearing to the first meeting in November with a brief comment.
All right. Ms. Gamble, I do see an amendment here. Were you hoping to get the amendment onto the bill prior to doing that?
Do we? We do? Okay, yes, we will move the amendment. It's a cleanup,
Okay.
clerical.
Understood. If, to get the amendment before us, I guess when we have to have a motion to approve, or can she go ahead and, in the midst of the deferral motion, do the amendment? Special counsel, how do we? Okay, all right. If you'll do a motion to approve, recognizing that you are going to defer. We hear that. But apparently, a motion to amend is not proper until the bill is before us. So,
Okay.
do you want to seek some advice from Special Counsel Darby in this regard? I'm
I would
happy
like to move to defer the bill to the first meeting in November, and we will take up the amendment at that time.
Okay, it's properly moved and seconded for a deferral of a second reading to the meeting of November 4th and the public hearing of November 4th. It is properly seconded, and we are on to discussion.
Can I have my comment now?
Yes,
My brief
ma'am.
comment. Thank
Yeah, I'm
you.
sorry. Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm moving to defer this bill to the first meeting in November for two reasons. First, so that it can track with the other three housing bills that the council will be considering. And second, to allow more time for community engagement and clarification on what this bill actually does. And with that, I would like to move for approval for the deferral to the first meeting in November.
Is there any further discussion? Go ahead, Ms. Allen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate the opportunity for more community engagement. Is there additional community engagement opportunities being added on the planning website that we can just have some instruction on how to find that information?
Mr. Withers for the Planning Department. Hang on, sir. You're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor, for recognizing me, and thank you, Councilmember Allen, for the question. We have had one regional meeting with districts 1, 2, and 3. And then we've also had one topical meeting, which was held at Sunny West, which was on the topic of historic zoning. And we had our historic zoning team who are now in planning there with us. So we've had those two already. And then we are working with council members to schedule, we're trying to do them a little bit regionally because it'd be difficult to do 35. But we appreciated that model from Councilmember Gamble, Toombs, and Kimbrough to do one for 1, 2, and 3. So far, we have one confirmed. I believe that we're coming out to the All Antioch meeting on the 28th. We have a meeting for the kind of Creve Hall, South Nashville area that Councilmember Johnston was very kind to help us find a good meeting location, and that one will be on October the 29th. We're also working to schedule one in the Green Hills area. We're trying to get a location booked that we think will have sufficient size. And I've also spoken to Councilmember Bradford and some of those council members in that area to do one for Donaldson Hermitage. So we are trying to do those, like I said, not one for every single district, but trying to do them a little bit regionally, sort of based on requests from council members. And we, as soon as those are confirmed, we will have them on the website, hopefully maybe even starting tomorrow, if not by Monday. I will also send out confirmation to the council members in my role as a liaison. Just also wanted to suggest to council members, if you do request a regional meeting, we are working to send the council members, we do have an FAQ document, but that in and of itself is also a little bit lengthy. So we're working on getting a succinct version of an FAQ that for going forward for council members that request that if you could send that to your constituents with the invitation. That way, even if they can't attend the meeting, they'll get some information that's specific to what we'll speak to, but to help kind of frame, make sure that we have good questions from the attendees that we can answer for those. So we are working on that schedule based on council member requests, trying to do them a little bit regionally throughout the county. And if others have requests, please contact me tomorrow. Thank you.
Ms. Allen, does that answer your questions there? Okay. Is anyone else seeking to be recognized on the motion to defer this ordinance on second reading, as well as its public hearing to November 4th? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, this is deferred to the meeting and public hearing of November 4th. Next is agenda items 9 and 10. They are companions to each other. Agenda item 9 is ordinance BL 2025-1020, sponsor Toombs, and its companion ordinance 1021. Ordinance 1020 is an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by amending a specific plan for property located at Belfield Avenue unnumbered and 3000 Lawrence Avenue, and for a portion of property at 3031 Lawrence Avenue at the intersection of Lawrence Avenue and Clarksville Pike. This is 11.23 acres to permit a maximum of 469 multifamily residential units within a mixed-use development. Its companion ordinance 102 requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings at the addresses in 1020. Councilmember Toombs, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Request to open the public hearing.
Okay, I declare the public hearing open for Councilmember Toombs ordinances 1020 and 1021. Would all members of the public here in support of these bills please raise your hand? Would all members of the public here in opposition to these bills please raise your hand? Seeing no one here in opposition, does the gentleman in support seek to be recognized? He is shaking his head no, Ms. Toombs, and so with that, I will declare the public hearing closed. Back to you.
Move for approval with a brief comment.
Okay, there's a motion to approve 1020 and 1021 in a consolidated motion, properly seconded. Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Just to clarify for anyone who is watching or will watch and have questions, these are amendments to existing SPs that have been in place for about 5 years or so. There's no change to the number of units in the SP. It's just reconfiguring where the units will go on the site plan.
Appreciate that clarification. Is there any further discussion on the motion to approve these two bills on second reading? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, 1020 and 1021, the companion, have passed their second of 3 readings. Next is our agenda items 11 and 12. They are companions to each other. Ordinance BL 2025-1022 and 1023, sponsor Bradford. 1022 is an ordinance to amend Title 17, the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by amending a specific plan on property located at 3325 McGavick Pike, approximately 550 feet southwest of Murfreesboro Pike. This is 6.01 acres to permit 71 multifamily residential units. And 1023, again, is the companion, and it requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings at the addresses in 1022. Mr. Bradford, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. I believe we need to defer this till November.
Okay, so is that a motion to defer 1022
to November.
and 1023 to the public hearing of November 4th, properly seconded? Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, 1022 and 1023 will be on public hearing November 4th. Okay, next are agenda items 13 and 14. Again, they are companions to each other. Ordinance BL 2025-1024 and 1025, sponsor Harrell. 1024 is an ordinance to amend Title 17, the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government of Nashville and Davidson County, by changing from AR2A to SP zoning for properties located at 3766 Pinhook Road and Pinhook Road unnumbered, approximately 262 feet south of Lake Walk Drive, 3.09 acres to permit 22 multifamily residential units. And again, its companion 1025, which requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings at the addresses on 1024. Mr. Harrell, you are recognized, sir.
I would like to open up the public hearing.
Okay. I declare the public hearing open for Councilmember Harrell's ordinances 1024 and 1025. Would all members of the public here in support of these bills please raise your hand? Thank you. Would all members of the public here in opposition to these bills please raise your hand? Seeing no one here in opposition, do the persons here in support seek to be recognized? They are shaking their head no. And so with that, Mr. Harrell, I will declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you for a motion.
I'd like to move for approval.
All right, there is a motion to approve 1024 and 1025 on second reading. Is there a second? Properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, 1024 and 1025 have passed their second of 3 readings. Next are agenda items 15 and 16. Again, they are companions to each other. Ordinance BL 2025-1026 and 1027, sponsor Toombs. 1026 is an ordinance to amend Title 17, the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government by amending a specific plan for properties located at Lawrence Ave unnumbered, 3328 Curtis Street, and Lincoln Avenue unnumbered, and for a portion of property at 3031 Lawrence Ave at the northwest terminus of Curtis Street. This is 31.58 acres to permit a maximum of 331 multifamily residential units. And again, the companion 1027, which requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings at the addresses in 1026. Go ahead, Ms. Toombs, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Request to open the public hearing.
Okay, I declare the public hearing open for Councilmember Toombs's companion ordinances 1026 and 1027. Would all members of the public here in support of these ordinances please raise your hand? Would all members of the public here in opposition to these ordinances please raise your hands? Seeing no one here in opposition or support, I will declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you for a motion.
Thank you. Move for approval with a brief comment.
All right, go ahead.
This is similar to the previous SP where it's amending an existing specific plan. It is not changing the number of units. It's just reconfiguring the units on the site plan.
Okay, appreciate the clarification. Again, there is a motion to approve 1026 and its companion 1027 on the second of 3 readings. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, these bills have passed their second of 3 readings. Next is agenda item 17, ordinance BL 2025-1028, sponsor Kimbrough. This is an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government by changing from RS15 to R10 zoning for properties located at 3905 Lund Drive and 3912 Putnam Drive at the eastern and western corner of Lund Drive and Putnam Drive. This is 2.72 acres. Ms. Kimbrough, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to open the public hearing.
All right, I declare the public hearing open for Ms. Kimbrough's ordinance 1028. Would all members of the public here in support of this ordinance please raise your hand? Would all members of the public here in opposition to this ordinance please raise your hand? Seeing no one here in opposition, do the persons here in support seek to be recognized or speak? They are holding a thumbs down. And nodding their head no. And so with that, no one seeking to be recognized, I declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you for a motion.
Thank you. I'd like to move for approval.
All right, there's a motion to approve, properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, this has passed its second of 3 readings. Next is agenda item 18, ordinance BL 2025-1029, sponsor Spain. This is an ordinance to amend Title 17, the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government by changing from R80 to RM4 NS zoning for property located at 5778 River Road, approximately 670 feet north of Stella Drive. This is 0.94 acres. Mr. Spain, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to open the public hearing.
I declare the public hearing open for Councilmember Spain's ordinance 1029. Would all members of the public here in support of this ordinance please raise your hand? Thank you. Would all members of the public here in opposition to this ordinance please raise your hand? Seeing no one here in opposition, does the person here in support seek to be recognized? He is shaking his head no, Mr. Spain. And so with that, I will declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you for a motion.
Thank you, Madam President. Move approval.
All right. Properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on ordinance 1029? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, this has passed its second of 3 readings. Next are agenda items 19 and 20. They are companions to each other. Ordinance BL 2025-1030 and 1031, sponsor Toombs. 1030 is an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by changing from RS 7.5 to SP zoning for properties located at 501 and 505 Yoakley Road, at the western corner of Old Matthews Road and Yoakley Road. This is 0.47 acres to permit two-family residential units, and 1031 requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings at the addresses in 1030. Ms. Toombs, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Request to open the public hearing.
Okay, I declare the public hearing open for Council Member Toombs' Bills 1030 and 1031, which are companions to each other. Would all members of the public here in support of these bills please raise your hand? Thank you. Would all members of the public here in opposition to this bill please raise your please raise your hand? Seeing no one here in opposition, does the gentleman here in support seek to be recognized? He is shaking his head no, Ms. Toombs. So with that, I will declare the public hearing closed. Back to you for motion.
Thank you. Move for approval.
All right, there's a motion to approve 1030 and 1031 on second reading, and it's properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, these have passed their second of 3 readings. Next is agenda item 21, ordinance BL 2025-1032, sponsor Bradford. This is an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by changing from R20 to IWD zoning for the property located at 2791 Couchville Pike, approximately 327 feet west of Bell Road. This is 10.94 acres. Mr. Bradford, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Move to open the public hearing.
Okay, I declare the public hearing open. Would all members of the public here in support of Councilmember Bradford's ordinance 1032 please raise your hand? Thank you. Would all members of the public here in opposition to this bill please raise your hand? Seeing no one here in opposition, do the persons here in support seek to be recognized? They are shaking their head no, Mr. Bradford. And so with that, I will declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you for a motion.
Move for approval.
Right, properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, 1032 has passed its second of 3 readings. Next is agenda item 22, ordinance BL 2025-1033, sponsor Horton. This is an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by amending a portion of a planned unit development overlay district on property located at 5845 Charlotte Pike, approximately 436 feet east of Lilliette Street, zoned CS. This is 7.66 acres to permit a self-service storage use. Councilmember Horton, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to open the public hearing, please.
I declare the public hearing open for Councilmember Horton's ordinance 1033. Would all members of the public here in support of this bill please raise your hand? Okay. Would all members of the public here in opposition to this bill please raise your hand? All right. Okay. Since we have persons here wishing to speak both in opposition and support, will those persons wishing to speak in support please come forward to the podium, and supporting speakers will go first, and then persons in opposition will speak after those speaking in support. All right. For supporting speakers, go ahead, sir. You're recognized. Oh, pardon me. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Vice Mayor and Council. John Cooper with the law firm Holland & Knight, 511 Union Street. I'm here representing Extra Space Storage, who is the owner of the property and the applicant. This is a PUD that dates back to 1978. It was originally for a department store and retail center. The PUD was amended in 1997 to swap the department store for self-storage, and it's been self-storage since then. There are currently 822 storage units. We're seeking to add another 354 units on the property. Demand for self-storage in the area is very high with occupancy rates in excess of 95%. So there's a strong desire for this use. The PUD meets all the criteria in the zoning code for amending these old PUDs. The Planning Commission determined that and unanimously recommended approval. There are a number of improvements that will be made to the property. Stormwater runoff, now all stormwater will be, for the new building, will be run underground. If you've ever been out there, it is a vast area of asphalt. And so there is a lot of runoff. There will also be no negative impact on traffic or parking. You're probably going to hear statements to the contrary. But self-storage has one of the lowest traffic and parking uses of any commercial use because people only go there when they absolutely have to. After the new building, there will be 394 dedicated parking spaces for this property, which includes the self-storage unit, restaurant, some retail, and a international market. That is well above what the zoning code would require. So we ask for your approval. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else seeking to be recognized in support? Go ahead, sir.
Hi, good evening. Blair Seymour, civil engineer representing Extra Space. We had a meeting with the adjacent owners and a few things were discussed and they had a few concerns. So I just want to talk about how they were addressed. The first one was parking. Parking's a big issue. Extra Space recognized this, and with the new overall development, the parking will be increased to 48 to 49%, which will greatly improve traffic navigation as well with the striping. The second one was truck maneuvering, that being a concern, how a truck's going to get in and out. A truck maneuvering pattern was provided to the neighbors. The third one, as John mentioned, the stormwater. Stormwater maintenance was provided to the neighbors just to show how it will be maintained over the years of the development. The lighting was another concern. Several light poles, they were missing a few bases. Extra Space provided a lighting plan that will be done upon completion of the development. The fifth one was the ingress, egress into the property. They wanted this to be striped, kind of like a dual lane entrance, allowing vehicles to turn left to one of the developments or proceed straight ahead. The plans were updated to reflect this to satisfy the owners. The sixth one was repair the signage at the entrance, which is not Extra Space signage, but Extra Space, to be a good neighbor, agreed to do this upon completion of their building. And the last concern was landscaping. The trees were a little bit taller, blocking the building view from the right-of-way. And landscape has currently been done to provide visibility to the buildings. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Is anyone else seeking to be recognized to speak in support? Seeing none, we'll move on to opposition. If those folks who identify themselves as being in opposition seek to speak, please do come forward to the podium. Go ahead, you're recognized.
Thank you. Gavin Dwyer for Lackey McDonald. I represent SK Food Corporation. They are the adjacent land owner. The two properties are adjacent to each other and they are subject to an easement restriction and option agreement. And if I may, I would like to enter this into the public record for this bill.
You can give it to the sergeant at arms there and they can give it to the clerk. Thank you.
As the council will see in that easement and restriction and option agreement, there are restrictions in terms of what the applicant can do with their land related to a parking easement and then also expanding building square footage. There are mandatory parking area that is required in that document. It's the last page and it shows that everything west of this mandatory parking line is to remain parking at all times. And as it is shown in the applicant's plans, that parking line goes right through the middle of their building and it extends beyond that part. So they are in violation of that easement restriction and option agreement. And there is also a requirement or a restriction on the amount of square footage a building can have on that parcel. And again, the plan that is proposed by the applicant exceeds the square footage that is permitted underneath that restriction option agreement. And those are the reasons why we are opposing it. And I would also like to make the council aware that a lawsuit has been filed this afternoon to declare the rights and obligations of the parties in relation to this and seek injunctive relief to prevent further construction efforts on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Sir, in the red shirt, were you hoping to speak in opposition? Go ahead, sir.
Yes, my name's Dennis Salisbury. My wife and I own a building we call DKS Investments right near Extra Space Storage. It will be, if approved, the addition will be 10 feet from our property line and 28.5 feet from the actual structure of our building itself. Extra Space are good people, good neighbors, but the biggest concern we have is the construction itself. It's on bedrock. The borings showed that it's anywhere from 1 to 5.9 feet below the surface of the parking lot, averaging only about 1.5 to 3 feet. So where it can't be blasted, it would have to be excavated, presumably using hydraulic hammer breaker machines, these huge hydraulic machines that put out 120 to 130 decibels of noise. 85 decibels is enough to begin to injure hearing. We have 3 restaurants on the campus, and I can't even imagine people trying to eat with this pounding at that noise level going on for presumably several months. Concerned about the vibration being on limestone, that vibration will be carried pretty easily to the adjacent buildings, which could lead to cracking both the structure itself and the foundation. It can loosen underground conduits and plumbing. It can even harm computers and routers with continued vibration. It can cause a lot of dust. We're concerned mostly about those issues as well as the traffic of large dump trucks hauling off the spoil from such a large excavating site. And I think besides that they're good neighbors, I think that this construction just wouldn't be appropriate.
Your time is concluded. Is there anyone else seeking to be recognized?
I have some things in the hand of the
opposition. Do you want that to be entered into the record, sir? Yes, thank you. Okay. Thank you, Sergeant at Arms. Getting a workout this evening. All right, seeing no one else seeking to be recognized, I will declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you, Mr. Horton. Go ahead.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to move for approval with a brief comment, please.
Okay, is there a second? Okay, go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I appreciate the neighboring property owners coming to the public hearing to make their concerns known. I'll note this is on the second of 3 readings, and it is amendable on third. I would encourage you to send me an email so I make sure I understand exactly what your concerns are, and I'll try to catch them in the hallway as well. Thank you.
All right.
And I'd like to move for approval.
Thank you. There's a motion to approve on second of 3 readings. It is properly seconded. Is there any further discussion on this bill? Councilmember Allen, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam President. I know when we have an SP that you can put specific things in the SP about the construction process to deal with concerns about plastic and noise and vibration and things like that. We haven't done PUDs in a while, so can someone tell if PUDs are similar to SPs and that you can put in those types of guarantees?
All right, I will acknowledge the planning table. If you would please share your name with us and answer Ms. Allen's question. Thank you.
Andrea Dorlester, Planning Department. Actually, conditions relating to operations and construction activities are not related to land use, and we don't recommend including them in SPs or PUDs.
All right. Ms. Allen, any further questions? Okay. Councilmember Suara, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. There's a mention about the lawsuit. Does this have anything to do with any of this, or will this impact this in any way? Just one clarification.
Would you like me to address that to Special Counsel
Yes,
Darby?
please. Yes,
Okay.
please.
Special Counsel, you're recognized.
Not having seen the lawsuit, I don't know if it's related to the legislation specifically, but to the extent that a lawsuit has been filed, it should not stop the legislation from being able to be moved forward, but at some point, the litigation may have an impact on the legislation.
Okay, does that answer your question? All right, is there anyone else seeking to be recognized on the motion to approve on second of 3 readings? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, I'm showing an abstention from Ms. Kimbrough and from Ms. Hancock, and as well from Ms. Stiles. Any additional abstentions on this bill on second reading? Okay. Mr. Clerk, do you have those abstentions recorded? Okay. All right. Okay, this has passed its second of 3 readings. Next are agenda items 23 and 24. They are companions to each other. Ordinance BL 2025-1034 and 1035, sponsors Cash and Allen. 1034 is an ordinance to amend Title 17, the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government by applying a historic landmark overlay district to property located at 1901 Capers Avenue, approximately 290 feet north of Wedgwood Avenue, zoned RM40. This is 0.42 acres. And its companion 1035, which requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings at the addresses in 1034. Councilmember Cash, you are recognized.
Thank you. I would like to open the public hearing.
All right, I declare the public hearing open for Councilmember Cash's companion ordinances 1034 and 1035. Would all members of the public here in support of these bills please raise your hand? Thank you. Would all members of the public here in opposition to these bills please raise your hand? Seeing no one here in opposition, does the gentleman here in support seek to be recognized? He is shaking his head no. And so with that, Councilman Cash, I will declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you for a motion on these bills.
Move approval.
All right, there is a motion to approve both 1034 and 1035, properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, these bills have passed their second of 3 readings. Next are agenda items 25 and 26. They are companions to each other. Ordinance BL 2025-1036 and 1037. Sponsor Cortez. 1036 is an ordinance to amend Title 17, the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by changing from AR2A to SP zoning for property located at 6309 Nolensville Pike, approximately 130 feet east of Fair Meadows Drive. This is 9.9 acres to permit 119 multifamily residential units. And again, 1037, which requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings at the addresses in 1036. Mr. Cortez, you are recognized, sir.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to open the public hearing.
Okay, I declare the public hearing open for Councilmember Cortez's companion bills 1036 and 1037. Would all members of the public here in support of these bills please raise your hand? Thank you. Would all members of the public here in opposition to these bills please raise your hand? Seeing no one here in opposition, do the persons here in support seek to be recognized or speak? They are shaking their head no. And so with that, Mr. Cortez, I will declare the public hearing closed. It's back to you for a motion.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Move for approval.
Okay, there is a motion to approve both 1036 and 1037, properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, 1036 and 1037 have passed their second of 3 readings. All right. Next are agenda items 27 and 28, again, companions to each other. Ordinance BL 2025-1038 and 1039, sponsor Welsh. 1038 is an ordinance to amend Title 17, the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government by changing from RS 7.5 to SP zoning for properties located at 406 and 408 McClellan Avenue, approximately 124 feet west of Nolensville Pike. This is 0.45 acres to permit 5 multifamily residential units, all of which is described herein, as well as 1039, which requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings in Ordinance 1038. Councilmember Welsh, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to open the public hearing.
All right, I declare the public hearing open for Councilmember Welsh's ordinances 1038 and 1039. Would all members of the public here in support of these bills please raise your hand? Would all members of the public here in opposition to these bills please raise your hand? Seeing no one here on either side seeking to be recognized, I will declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you for a motion.
Thank you. I would like to move to approve.
All right, there's a motion to approve 1038 and 1039, and it is properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, 1038 and 1039 have passed their second of 3 readings. Next is Agenda Item 29, Ordinance BL 2025-1040, sponsor Wiener. This is an ordinance to amend Title 17, the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by canceling a planned unit development overlay district on property located at 621 Old Hickory Boulevard, approximately 600 feet southwest of Sonia Drive. This is 2.70 acres, zoned SCR. Councilmember Wiener, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to open the public hearing.
I declare the public hearing open for Councilmember Wiener's Ordinance 1040. Would all members of the public here in support of this bill please raise your hand? Thank you. Would all members of the public here in opposition to this bill please raise your hand? All right, seeing no one here in opposition, does the gentleman here in support seek to be recognized? He is shaking his head no. So Ms. Wiener, with that, I will declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you for a motion.
Thank you. I'd like to move approval.
Properly moved and seconded for approval. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, 1040 has passed its second of 3 readings. Next are agenda items 30 and 31. They are companions to each other. Ordinance BL 2025-1041 and Ordinance 2025-1042, sponsor Wiener. 1041 is an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government by changing from SCR to SP zoning for, well, Ms. Wiener, I guess we should have taken all 3 of these together, but property located at 621 Old Hickory Boulevard, approximately 600 feet southwest from Sonia Drive, 2.70 acres within a planned unit development district. And 1042, which is an ordinance that requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings. If we'll just hold, pardon? Yeah. So these, okay, that's good to know. Thank you. All right. This is your moment of sin, colleagues. Ms. Wiener, thank you for coming back. I should have taken all 3 of those bills together. I just didn't have my agenda marked accordingly. I have read them into the record, so if you will simply state you want to open the public hearing, we'll do that for 1041 and 1042 as well.
Open the public hearing, please.
Okay, I declare the public hearing open for 1041 and 1042. Would all members of the public here in support of these 2 ordinances please raise your hand? Thank you again, sir. Would anybody here in opposition to these 2 bills please raise your hand? Seeing no one here in opposition, does the gentleman here in support seek to be recognized? He's shaking his head no, and so I'm declaring the public hearing closed, and it's back to you for a motion on 1041 and 1042.
And I would like to, again, move approval.
Okay. All right, properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, 1041, 1042, and also 1040 have passed their second of 3 readings. All right, I have a note here that 32 and 33 can be taken together for purposes of public hearing. All right, so 32 is ordinance BL 2025-1043, sponsor Webb, and 1044, also sponsor Webb. 1043 is an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metro Code, the Metro zoning ordinance, by canceling a planned unit development overlay district on property located at 2360 Gallatin Pike, approximately 800 feet northwest of Cumberland Hills Drive. This is 4.65 acres, zoned R10, and within a planned unit overlay district. 1044 is an ordinance to amend Title 17, the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by changing from R10 to CS zoning for property located also at 2360 Gallatin Pike, approximately 860 feet northwest of Cumberland Hills Drive. This is 4.65 acres within a planned unit development overlay district. I believe, Ms. Kimbrough, you have signed on to both of these bills. Is that correct? All right. Go ahead, ma'am. You're recognized.
Thank you. I'd like to open the public hearing.
Okay, I declare the public hearing open for Ms. Webb and Kimbrough's bills 1043 and 1044. Would all members of the public here in support of these bills please raise your hands? Thank you. Would all members of the public here in opposition to these bills please raise your hand? Seeing no one here in opposition, does the gentleman here in support seek to be recognized? Ms. Kimbrough, he is shaking his head no. And so with that, I will declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you for a motion.
Thank you. I'd like to move for approval.
Okay, there's a motion to approve 1043 and 1044 in a consolidated motion properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, 1043 and 1044 have passed their second of 3 readings. Next is agenda item 34, ordinance BL 2025-1045, sponsor Coupon. This is an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by changing from IG to MUIA zoning for properties located at 1425, 1429, 1433, and 1436 Cowan Court, approximately 578 feet west of Cowan Street. This is 9.0 acres within the River North Urban Design Overlay District. Mr. Coupon, you are recognized, sir.
Thank you, Madam President. Open the public hearing, please.
I declare the public hearing open for Mr. Coupon's ordinance 1045. Would all members of the public here in support of this ordinance please raise your hand? Would all members of the public here in opposition to this ordinance please raise your hand? Seeing no one here in opposition to the persons here in support seek to be recognized or to speak, they are all shaking their head no, Mr. Coupon. And so with that, I declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you for a motion.
Thank you, Madam President. Move approval, please.
All right, there's a motion to approve ordinance 1045 on its second of 3 readings. It is properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, this has passed its second reading. Next is agenda item 35, ordinance BL 2025-1046, sponsor Spain. This is an ordinance to amend Title 17, the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by changing from AR2A to RS10 zoning for the property located at 7934 McCrory Lane, approximately 737 feet north of Beautiful Valley Drive. This is 5 acres. Mr. Spain, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to open the public hearing.
Okay, I declare the public hearing open for Mr. Spain's ordinance 1046. Would all members of the public here in support of this ordinance please raise your hand? Would all members of the public here in opposition to this ordinance please raise your hand? Seeing no one here on either side, Mr. Spain, I will declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you for a motion.
Thank you, Madam President. Move approval.
There's a motion to approve. It's properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, 1046 has passed its second of 3 readings. And that concludes the public hearing portion of our agenda. Next, we're going to roll right into Section J of our agenda. This is our consolidated consent agenda. All resolutions and second and third reading ordinances on this agenda are included on the consent agenda if recommended for approval unanimously by all committees to which the item was referred. Items on the consent agenda will be voted on at a single time. The item number, along with the resolution and ordinance number of the items on the consent agenda, will be read by me. And then members of the council may remove any item from the consent agenda by request before the consent agenda vote is taken. All right. So we will now begin with our resolutions that are proposed for the consent agenda. First among them is agenda item 36, resolution 2025-1511. Next is agenda item 37, resolution 2025-1512. Agenda item 38, resolution 2025-1513. Agenda item 39, resolution 2025-1514. Agenda item 40, resolution 2025-1515. Agenda item 41, resolution 2025-1516. Agenda item 42, resolution 2025-1517. Agenda item 43, resolution 2025-1518. Agenda item 44, resolution 2025-1519. Agenda item 45, resolution 2025-1520. Agenda item 46, resolution 2025-1521. Agenda item 47, resolution 2025-1522. Agenda item 48, resolution 2025-1523. Agenda item 49, resolution 2025-1524. Agenda item 50, resolution 2025-1525. Agenda item 51, resolution 2025-1526. Agenda item 52, resolution 2025-1527. Agenda item 53, resolution 2025-1528. Agenda item 54, resolution 2025-1529. Agenda item 56, resolution 2025-1531. Agenda item 57, resolution 2025-1532. Agenda item 60, resolution 2025-1535. Agenda item 61, resolution 2025-1536. Agenda item 62, resolution 2025-1537. Agenda item 63, resolution 2025-1538. Agenda item 64, resolution 2025-1538. Agenda item 65, resolution 2025-1540. Agenda item 66, resolution 2025-1541. Agenda item 67, resolution 2025-1542. Agenda item 69, resolution 2025-1544. Agenda item 70, resolution 2025-1545. Agenda item 71, Resolution 2025-1546. Agenda item 73, Resolution 2025-1548. Agenda item 74, Resolution 2025-1549. Agenda item 75, Resolution 2025-1550. Agenda item 76, Resolution 2025-1551. Agenda item 77, Resolution 2025-1552. Agenda item 78, Resolution 2025-1553. Agenda item 79, Resolution 2025-1554. And then lastly, for resolutions proposed for consent, agenda item 80, resolution 2025-1555. Next are bills on second reading proposed for the consent agenda. First among those is agenda item 124, ordinance BL 2025-1049. Agenda item 126, ordinance BL 2025-1051. Agenda item 128, ordinance BL 2025-1053. Agenda item 129, ordinance BL 2025-1054. Agenda item 130, ordinance BL 2025-1056. Agenda item 131, ordinance BL 2025-1057. Agenda item 132, ordinance BL 2025-1058. Agenda item 133, ordinance BL 2025-1059. Agenda item 134, ordinance BL 2025-1060. Moving into bills on third reading proposed for the consolidated consent agenda. First among those is agenda item 137, ordinance BL 2025-954. Agenda item 138, ordinance BL 2025-1003. Agenda item 139, ordinance BL 2025-1004. Agenda item 141, ordinance BL 2025-1010. Agenda item 143, ordinance BL 2025-1012. Agenda item 144, ordinance BL 2025-1013. Agenda item 145, ordinance BL 2025-1014. Agenda item 146, ordinance BL 2025-1015. Agenda item 147, ordinance BL 2025-1016. Agenda item 148, ordinance BL 2025-1017. Agenda item 149, ordinance BL 2025-1018. And then lastly, agenda item 150, ordinance BL 2025-1019. Do any items need to be removed from the consent agenda? If so, if members would please join the queue to request that. Right, Councilmember Welsh, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I need to pull item 142 and 137. I would need to be recorded as no on both of those. And also, I didn't know if I heard 125 was
Okay.
on.
142 was not on consent.
Okay, 137?
What was the other one you said first? Before, after?
137.
137. 137 is on consent, and so you were requesting that 137,
Correct.
ordinance BL 2025-954, will be removed from consent.
Correct. And I
Okay.
didn't, is 125 on consent?
Let's check. 125 is not on consent.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Next, Councilmember Suara, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Item 70 and 77, please.
Okay, Councilmember Suara has requested the removal of agenda item 70, that's RS 2025-1545, and it will be removed from consent. That's 70, and I apologize, the second one, Ms. Suara?
77.
77. This is Resolution 2025-1552, and that will also be removed from consent. Okay, Councilmember Benedict, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to pull 78.
Okay.
Resolution 1553.
All right, agenda number 78, that resolution will be pulled from consent. Councilmember Coupin, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam President. Item 73, please.
Okay, item 73 is Resolution 2025-1548, and it will also be removed from consent. Okay. Are any other members seeking to be recognized to remove an item from consent? Okay. Mr. Clerk, are all committee reports in for the items on the consent agenda?
Yes, all committee reports are in.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Members, is there a motion for approval of the consent agenda? Properly moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye. All right, council has passed all items on the consent agenda. All right, now we're going to go back through in agenda order for the items that were not on the consent agenda. First then to resolutions, section K in our agenda. The first item is agenda item 55. This is resolution 2025-1530, sponsors Toombs, Huffman, Welsh, and Vo. This is a resolution appropriating a total of $355,200 from the Metro government, acting by and through the Metro Board of Health to United Neighborhood Health Services, Inc., doing business as Neighborhood Health, Inc., and approving a grant contract by and between the Metro government, acting by and through the Metro Board of Health and the United Neighborhood Health Services, Inc., to provide homeless individuals with medical, dental, mental health, and substance abuse services at 2 or more clinics located in or near downtown Nashville. Councilmember Toombs, Budget and Finance Chair, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Committee report. Budget and Finance voted to recommend approval, 10 in favor, 0 against, and 1 abstaining.
1 abstention, okay. And for the report of the Public Health and Safety Committee, Chair Huffman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Public Health and Safety recommended passage, 9 votes in favor, 0 no votes, 0 abstaining.
All right, it's back to you then, Ms. Toombs, for a motion.
Move for approval.
Okay, there's a motion to approve and it is properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no? Any abstaining? Councilmember Suara, you will be recorded as an abstention. Does anyone else need to be recorded as an abstention? All right. Okay, this resolution has passed with 1 member abstaining. All right, next is agenda item 50. Oh, I'm sorry. Parliamentary inquiry, you're recognized. Go ahead.
My apologies, Vice Mayor. I was looking at a message from a constituent and I missed being able to pull off agenda item 75. I wanted to know if it was possible to do that.
No,
or what's go on. We'll let him take it.
Okay, Mr. Prep T, for a point of parliamentary inquiry.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. With the particular piece of legislation that Councilmember Stiles was referring to, the intent was originally to pull that off of consent to be able to try and make a motion for passage under Rule
12.3.
12.3, thank you. However, knowing that the body has now already passed that, the nature of the parliamentary inquiry is for any council member who does now want to sign on to that piece of legislation, which had to deal with the Black Arts International Black Film Festival. If other members of the body wanted to sign on to that resolution, asking for that and for them to email the clerk.
I will allow it. Mr. Clerk, you can email metroclerk@nashville.gov and be added. Okay?
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor.
Thank you. All right. Where were we? 58. Okay. Agenda item 58, Resolution 2025-1533, sponsors Toombs and Huffman. This is a resolution approving a Homeland Security Grant Program application from the Tennessee Emergency Management Agency to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Office of Emergency Management to fund efforts to prevent, prepare for, protect against, and respond to acts of terrorism and other catastrophic events. Councilmember Toombs, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Committee reports, Budget and Finance voted to recommend a one-meeting deferral, 11 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, and for the report of Public Health and Safety, Councilmember Huffman.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Public Health and Safety recommended to defer this item one meeting, 9 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
All right, per Rule 8.1, this is a mandatory one-meeting deferral. This matter can be taken up at our next meeting in October. Next is Agenda Item 59, Resolution 2025-1534, sponsor Toombs and Huffman. This is a resolution approving an Urban Area Security Initiative, UASI, grant application from the Tennessee Emergency Management Agency to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Office of Emergency Management to fund costs related to enhancing security and the resilience of high-risk urban areas by building, sustaining, and improving capabilities to prevent, prepare for, protect against, and respond to acts of terrorism. Councilmember Toombs, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Committee reports, Budget and Finance voted to recommend a one-meeting deferral, 11 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Thank you. Chair Huffman for the report of Public Health and Safety.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Public Health and Safety recommended to defer this item one meeting, 9 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
All right, and per Rule 8.1, that is a mandatory one-meeting deferral. All right. Next, Agenda Item 68, Resolution 2025-1543, sponsors Benedict Horton and Evan Siegel. This is a resolution authorizing the Metro Government of Nashville and Davidson County to abandon a fire hydrant assembly and to accept new public water and sanitary sewer mains, fire hydrant assembly, and sanitary sewer manholes for property located at 1245 Kenmore Place. Councilmember Benedict, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports, please.
All right, for the report of the Planning and Zoning Committee, Chair Horton, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. The committee considered the resolution. We voted in favor of the amendment, 9 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting, and the resolution as amended, 9 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Thank you, sir. And for the report of Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, Chair Evan Siegel, you're recognized.
The Transportation and Infrastructure Committee voted 8 in favor, 0 against, and 0 not voting in favor of the amendment, and 8 in favor, 0 against, and 0 not voting to approve as amended.
Thank you for that report. All right, it's back to you, Sponsor Benedict.
Thank you again, Vice Mayor. I'd like to move approval.
All right, there's a motion to approve. Is it seconded? Okay.
Move my amendment.
All right, there's a motion to amend. Is there a second for that? Okay, go ahead. Anything you want to say about the amendment?
The amendment adds an important word that allows us to accept this instead of just saying, omitting the word accept. So we need to put that in there.
Okay.
That's what it does.
We are adding a verb.
That's correct.
That's known as housekeeping.
That's correct.
Verbs are important in sentences.
Verbs matter.
Yes, verbs matter. They do.
I'd like to move approval as amended now, please.
Yes, ma'am. Did we vote on the amendment? We got a vote.
Well, I'll
yeah,
wait for
I know we
that.
were
Yeah,
joking, so we got a little ahead of us. Yeah. There is a motion to amend. It's properly seconded. You've heard an explanation of the amendment. All in favor, please say aye. Any voting, no abstaining. Now.
Let's move it as amended, please, Vice Mayor.
All right, any discussion on that? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, this resolution has passed as amended. All right. Agenda item 70, Resolution 2025-1545, sponsors Bradford, Johnston, Coopin, Spain, Druffel, Nash, Stiles, Hill, Allen, and Ewing. This is a resolution expressing the Metropolitan Council's unified condemnation of political violence, affirming the right of every person to hold and voice their opinions, and calling upon state and federal leaders to work toward unity and to take stronger action to end political violence. Councilmember Bradford, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports.
Okay, for the report of the Rules, Confirmations, and Public Elections Committee, Chair Cash, you're recognized.
7 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you, sir. Back to you, Mr. Bradford.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. I'd like to move for approval.
There's a motion to approve, properly seconded, and we're on to discussion. Ms. Swara, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I rise in support of the resolution. I think it's a great one. I wanted to add my name to it, but I had a thought as I was looking at it. I also debated whether I was going to say something today, but then I changed my mind as I sat in these chambers. This is a good resolution, but unfortunately, it's just words. What I have seen oftentimes is that we say things to make ourselves feel better, but we don't follow it with action. Political violence is bad, should never happen, but there are factors that lead to it that even some of us may not know that we're contributing to. And I think that's the part of the action that when we said we want the government to put things in place, to do things, we are that government. And whether we know it or not, in some way or fashion, we're contributing to it. When people's voices are silenced, when people do not have the opportunity to speak, when dissension is not allowed, when people cannot even afraid to speak against something, when they're worried that by opposing something, it will be taken any other way. That's how we're promoting it, by not providing spaces for people to be heard. I was thinking about some of the things that were said today. We don't give each other grace. If I condemn something, then automatically I'm against another thing. That's how all of this happened. I heard somebody said, you listened to us, you heard us. That's good. But I heard that from one group, I didn't hear it from the other group. How many of us have actually talked to a Palestinian, met with a Palestinian group? How many of us? We talk about, we hear you, we see you. Do we really see them? Do we really hear them? And when government is speaking and speaking so loudly, I would never, under any circumstances, condone anti-Semitism. I stood up in this chamber against Nazi. I would never, ever do it. But the problem is when something is happening on the other side, we fail to see it. Someone stood there and said the actions of the Israeli government should be celebrated. And I could not sit, step out. If we can sit here and not feel anything for children dying in front of our eyes, then what we're passing is fluff. It's just to make us feel good. We have to condemn it. Look at the Wikipedia definition of political violence. It includes terrorism. It includes genocide. We have to call it, we have to name it. And we have to be bold enough to say things. Many of you may not know, in the last year since I put forward the resolution, some things have happened to me personally because I dare speak up. Instilling fear, coercion, we have to stop it. So I support it, we should do it, but please, let's it be more than just words. And let's be consistent. If we stand up for one group, let's stand up for the other, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Swara. Is anyone else seeking to be recognized on Resolution 1545? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, adopted this resolution. Next is Agenda Item 72, RS 2025-1547, sponsor Welsh. This is a resolution denouncing all acts of the United States government and the State of Israel that contribute to a continuation of the genocide of the Palestinian people. Councilmember Welsh, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I would like to withdraw with a brief comment.
Okay, a very brief comment, please, ma'am.
I'm withdrawing this resolution today in hope that the ceasefire reached today will bring an end to the horrors of the war in Gaza. But it is incumbent upon us that we do call things for what they are. When we do not call things by their name, when we refuse to acknowledge the truth of what we see, we lose a piece of our shared humanity, and that is dangerous. Because when it becomes easier, then it becomes easier the next time to allow an evil to gain a foothold, manifest, and flourish. There are not two sides here. We can speak out against both the horror of October 7th and the ongoing happenings in Gaza. Two sides divides us into us and them. That is what is fueling the rise of fascism and hate across the globe, including here in the United States. And no one wins when that happens.
Mr. Cash, Chair, you're recognized.
The rules call for withdrawal. The rules call for an explanation of the withdrawal. And I really feel like this is going beyond that.
I appreciate that.
There's a committee report coming that basically will result in no debate.
I understand, but
I don't believe it's fair for one person to be able to give a speech and then make an action that doesn't let anybody else speak. And I'm not saying that's the sponsor's intention, but that's the result.
I appreciate that. The rules on withdrawal are not actually explicit in that regard. That is always the request, that we stay on the withdrawal and we keep it concise. And that is what I asked for, Ms. Welsh. Ms. Welsh does not, in fact, have to ask for the committee report. She can, per special counsel, say withdraw with a brief comment and then proceed. And so what I'm asking her to do is wrap it up, if you will, Ms. Welsh, because you have extended beyond the will of the body here. Did you have a point of order, Mr. Spain? Go ahead, sir.
I have a parliamentary inquiry.
Yep, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam President. You mentioned the rules, so I just wanted to make sure we're clear on it. Rule 44 regarding withdrawals of legislation says, on any legislation pending before the council for which a deferral or withdrawal is requested by the sponsor at the time of the request for such deferral or withdrawal will state to the council the reason for such request. Doesn't make any mention of any further comment, so you could read that to say.
State the reason for the request to withdraw.
Yes.
Okay, so Ms. Welsh, as you were advised, please, you need to keep on your reasoning for withdrawing this and wrap it up, please.
Mentioned, I am withdrawing this because of the ceasefire today. And I just want to say that I hope that we all can always affirm the dignity of all people and stand up against injustice, because someday we may be them and need them. And I am withdrawing this now with a very, very fervent hope that we have a lasting peace in Gaza.
All right, the matter is withdrawn. Okay. Next is Agenda Item 73, Resolution 2025-1548, sponsors Coupin, Nash, Weiner, Gadd, Webb, Evans, Stiles, Hill, Benton, Bowe, Toombs, and Gregg. This is a resolution honoring the life of Grammy-winning songwriter Brett James. Mr. Coupin, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam President. Committee reports, please.
Report of the Rules Committee, Chair Cash.
Approved, 7 in favor, 0 against.
All right, back to you, Mr. Coupin.
Thank you, Madam President, and appreciate my colleagues giving me a moment to recognize Brett James. I was in shock and heartbreak when I learned of his untimely passing. As many know, I worked in the music industry for a number of years, went to singer-songwriter events, participated in events with Mr. James, and he was just one of the kindest, sweetest guys you'll ever meet. He wrote quite a few songs for Kenny Chesney, Jason Aldean, Martina McBride, Keith Urban, Tim McGraw, Dierks Bentley, so many more. He wrote or co-wrote more than 500 songs, and he was a Grammy Award winner. He wrote Carrie Underwood's Jesus Take the Wheel. He's just such a fundamental person who made Music City, Music City. So many songs that we know and love were written by him, and as evidenced by all the posts and outpouring of love when he passed. He really made an impact on this city, and I felt that it was only fitting and proper that we recognized him. And so with that, would like to amend with Rule 12.3 with my motion.
Okay, so there is a motion to approve this resolution with 12.3 applied, such that all members voting in the affirmative will be listed as co-sponsors. I heard a second for that motion. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, this resolution has passed. Next is Agenda Item 77, RS 2025-1552. Sponsors Sepulveda, Ewing, Vo, and Allen. This is a resolution recognizing September 15th through October 15th, 2025 as Hispanic Heritage Month in Nashville and Davidson County. Let's see, Ms. Sepulveda being absent. Mr. Prep-T, are you signed on to this? You are signed on. Ms. Ewing, your second sponsor. Do you want to? Okay. Ms. Ewing is listed as second sponsor. I appreciate colleagues' willingness to help Councilmember Sepulveda. Go ahead, Ms. Ewing.
Move for approval, please.
Well, we need to request our committee report.
Request
no
committee
worries.
report,
Councilman
please.
Cash. Go ahead, sir.
7 in favor, 0 against.
Okay. Okay. Do you want to move to approve? I don't know if you, in an abundance of caution or other colleagues were aware that Ms. Sepulveda perhaps wanted to apply Rule 12.3 or anything. Are you acknowledging, Ms. Suara, that that is accurate to your understanding, that that was the intention of the sponsor? Okay. Okay. I don't need to know how you know that, but I would suggest to you, Ms. Ewing, as second sponsor, I understand that it is the sponsor's desire to apply Rule 12.3. So if you would please make such a motion.
Yes, if we could please apply Rule 12.3.
Okay, there's a motion to approve this resolution with Rule 12.3 applied, such that all members voting in the affirmative will be listed as co-sponsors. It is properly seconded. We're on to discussion. Ms. Suara, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I wanted to read these statements that I found online that I thought was applicable, and since the sponsor is not here, I wanted to share what I believe is a thought. She didn't ask me to, but I thought it's very important in this time. It is not lost on me that there is a very real possibility that in 2 years, this body may no longer have representation from my community. And that is not just a loss for us, it is a loss for this city. Because when any community's voice goes unheard, our collective vision becomes smaller. I believe it's important to acknowledge my community during these times, to celebrate who we are and to affirm that we belong here. My community is vibrant, resilient, and hardworking. We have served in every war since the nation's founding. We are teachers, business owners, artists, public servants, and laborers. We are the ones who keep our neighborhood thriving, our food systems running, and our culture rich and alive. Yet, too often, our contributions are overlooked, our veterans are persecuted, our families are separated, and our neighbors are told they don't belong. Too often, we are judged by the color of our skin or the accent in our voices. But Spanish was spoken on this land long before English, and when people say, speak American, I ask which of the 170 native languages are you referring to? Our ancestors have lived on these lands long before the founding of the nation. We have deep roots here, and those roots stretch across borders, across generations, and across the many stories that make up what it makes to be American. If anyone took the time to truly look at us, they would understand that we are the American dream. So I was going to read this because I thought it was pertinent and ask everyone to sign on as well. So thank you.
Okay. All right. There is a motion to approve with 12.3 applied. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right. You have adopted this resolution. Next is Agenda Item 78, RS 2025-1553. 1553, sponsors Benedict and Vo. This is a resolution recognizing October the 8th, 2025 as International Lesbian Day in Nashville and Davidson County. Councilmember Benedict, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Committee reports.
Chair Cash, you're recognized.
7 in favor, 0 against.
All right, it's back to you, Ms. Benedict.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to move approval.
There's a motion to approve. Is there a second? Go ahead.
Thank you. So some of these days just jump up upon us. And yesterday, my wife looked over at me. We were sitting around in the evening, and she said, "Hey, it's International Lesbian Day." And I said, "Hey, I have a resolution about that coming up." And so sometimes these things sneak up on us, and it did on me. So I'm wishing my wife publicly happy International Lesbian Day yesterday. And also just want to make sure that there is awareness to these days. These days matter to our residents. And so I appreciate everybody voting in support of these resolutions. It does matter to our constituents, to our city, and from those outside of our city as well. Happy International Lesbian Day yesterday.
Thank you, Ms. Benedict. Is there any further discussion on this resolution? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, this resolution has been adopted. All right. Okay, now we are on to first reading. All right, by rule, all items on first reading shall be voted on at the same time unless requested otherwise by a primary sponsor or by 2 other members. Do any items need to be removed from the collective first reading vote? All right, Mr. Huffman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I need to pull item 93, BL 2025-1072.
Okay, so agenda item 93, ordinance 1072 will be removed from the collective vote. Is any other member seeking to be recognized to remove an item from first reading? Okay. Is there a motion for approval of all the remaining items, excepting item 93, on first consideration? All right, and properly seconded without objection, you have approved all items excepting 93 on first reading. All right, now we will go back to agenda item 93. Mr. Huffman, this is ordinance BL 2025-1072, an ordinance amending chapter 17.04 and 17.32 of the Metro Code of Laws to permit and regulate sandwich board signs. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Just need to defer this to the January public hearing, please.
Okay. Do you want to approve it on first and then move the public
Thank
hearing
you.
to
That's
January
correct.
2nd?
Yeah, move for approval on first with a deferral to the public hearing in the January. Yes.
20th
Yes,
public hearing. Oh, properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on that? All right, there's a motion to approve 1072. All in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, this has passed its first reading, and its public hearing will be at the meeting of January 20th. Okay, I believe we have a late filed item for first reading. All right, let me get that in front of me. All right, Mr. Parker, you seek to be recognized. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, Vice Mayor. I would like to request committee reports for this late filed.
Okay, I need you to move first to suspend the rules so that we can take up this late filed item.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to request suspension of the rules.
Okay, Councilmember Cash, did you meet on this matter regarding the suspension of the rules?
We did, and we heard Councilmember Parker and voted 7 in favor, 0 against to support the emergency filing or the rules.
Okay.
Rule 13.
Members have heard the report of Chair Cash as to the emergency nature of the late file. Are any members objecting to the suspension of the rules? Seeing none, the rules are suspended, Mr. Parker. And so it's back to you to get this before us.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Does one of us need to read the caption?
Oh, thank you, sir. I do appreciate that. Yeah, we do need to read that into the record. Thank you, sir. Okay, so Councilman Parker has an unnumbered ordinance, but it amends Title 17 of the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by changing from RS5 to R6A zoning for property located at 1435 Meridian Street at the corner of Meridian Street and Gatewood Avenue, and located within a detached accessory dwelling unit overlay district. This is 0.18 acres, and that concludes the caption. So it's back to you now for a motion.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to move approval.
Okay, it's properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on this bill? Seeing none, anything that you want to share, Mr. Parker? Don't have to.
Nope, just appreciate my colleagues for allowing the late file.
Yeah. Seeing no one else seeking discussion of this matter on first reading, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any voting no or abstaining? All right, this has passed its first reading. All right, next we are moving into items on second reading that were not on consent. This is section M of our agenda. First is agenda item 121, ordinance BL 2025-995, sponsors Parker, Hill, Bradford, Vo, Benedict, Allen, Gadd, Cap, and Ewing. This is an ordinance amending section 10.26.010, 10.28.010, and 16.24.330 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws pertaining to intentional designs for vegetative growth. Councilmember Parker, you are recognized, sir. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Go ahead.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to move approval with a brief comment.
Okay, there is a motion to approve, properly seconded. Go ahead, sir.
All right, thank you. So this was a bill that came over from Water, from Mike Jamison, the tree division. I'm not sure exactly what the name of his division is over there, but tree folks sent this over. So we have this existing program in Nashville. It's I would characterize it as underutilized. I think Mr. Jamison today in committee said about 12 people use it across the county, but it allows folks to file an application for a kind of natural landscaping plan for their yard. So this is not just like willy-nilly, just let it grow and get tall. This is, you have to have a plan on file. You have to follow the plan. You have to, there's an amendment that I hope we'll consider that would require additional oversight from NDOT to ensure there's no sightline issues. So it makes a few tweaks to this program, and I'm supportive of the legislation, and I will end my comments there, and I think we...
Do you want to request your committee report as well?
Thank you,
I apologize.
yes.
We got that a little out of order. It's no worries. For the report of the Government Operations Committee and Regulations, Chair Hill.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. On the First Amendment, we voted 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. Then on the late filed amendment, we vote 1 in favor, 5 against, and then we voted as amended with just the First Amendment, 5 in favor, 1 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, hang on, Ms. Hill.
Okay.
So the first proposed amendment in our agenda is from you,
Yes.
correct? And the vote for that was what?
6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, now the two subsequent amendments, and I apologize, for 995 is a late filed amendment of Ms. Webb's, and you
That's
did
correct.
take that up in committee, and the vote on that was what?
1 in favor, 5 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, understood. Anything else by way of report?
We voted with just my amendment, 5 in favor, 1 against, 0 not voting.
Right, understood. Okay. So the bill is before us at this time with the committee report in. So what is before us at present is a motion to approve. A motion to amend at this time is proper, if you want to advance that.
Not seeing the amendment's sponsor in the queue, I will move the Hill amendment.
Okay. Is there a second for Chair Hill's amendment, which I think you alluded to earlier regarding the NDOT sightlines?
I'll
Is that
offer a
correct?
brief explanation if you'd
Okay,
like.
go ahead, sir.
So yes, this is NDOT requested to be involved in the review and permitting of these natural landscape applications, primarily to identify any potential sightline issues with the plan. So we're happy to have them be part of this program. So I'll going to be
Okay.
voting in support of the amendment.
I appreciate that. Are you seeking to speak on the motion to amend, Mr. Huffman? No. Okay. Is there any further discussion on the motion to amend with Ms. Hill's amendment? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, so if you want to renew your motion with this amendment,
I'd like to move to approve as amended.
okay? And now we're on to discussion as amended with Ms. Hill's amendment. And Mr. Huffman, are you seeking to be recognized? Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Vice Mayor, and just a big thank you to the sponsor for his work on this. You know I'm not going to take or miss an opportunity to talk about wildflowers, so here we are. And I think that this legislation does something very well that we really need to take note of, and that is that it separates the difference between what's a nuisance and neglect and what is nature. And pollinators have so many benefits to just our overall city, the vibrance of our community, the well-being of people, of plants, of all kinds of insects that enjoy these things. So I think that this is a step in the right direction for a lot of ways. The 3 feet setback makes a ton of sense. And yeah, this is good legislation. And I applaud the sponsor. So I recommend that all my colleagues support this. And just wanted to thank the sponsor again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Huffman. Is anyone else seeking to be recognized for the motion to approve on second reading as amended with Chair Hill's amendment? Ms. Benedict, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I just want to call out that Stratford High School has the largest pollinator garden in the state. And so I would encourage people, if they want to get some ideas, to check out the teachers there, the leaders of the school who do great work, and I'm sure would help with whatever flowers or whatnot or vegetative growth you'd like to have in your yard. Very supportive of the bill. Thank you
for sharing. All right. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, this has passed its second reading as amended. Next is agenda item 122, ordinance BL 2025-1047, sponsors Coupin and Allen. This is an ordinance to amend section 9.20.020 of the Metro Code of Laws regarding motor vehicle noise. Councilman Coupin, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam President. Committee reports, please.
All right, first for the report of government operations and regulations, Chair Hill.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. We voted on Mr. Coupin's amendment, 6 in favor, 0 not voting, 0 against, 0 not voting, and then as amended, 5 in favor, 1 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, got it. For the report of Public Health and Safety Committee, Chair Huffman. This is.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Let's see here, one
Mr.
moment. Thank you, I've got it here.
Got it.
So
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
Public Health and Safety recommended to approve this as amended, 8 in favor, 1 against, 1 not voting.
Okay, got it. And for the report of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, Chair Evan Siegel.
Thank you, Madam President. The Transportation Infrastructure Committee voted on the amendment, 8 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting, and to approve as amended, 8 in favor, 0 against, and 0 not voting.
All righty. Okay, it is back to you, Mr. Coupin, for a motion.
Thank you, Madam President. Move approval with a brief comment.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. This bill addresses a unmuffled car noise as currently is limited by distance. This would include if you are in a residential dwelling structure and the car noise is plainly audible, it would be a violation. So something that I appreciate Councilwoman Ellis started this bill off and then kind of continuing that work. It's something that is really important to my district and really excited to pass it. I do also have an amendment that I would like to move.
That is a proper motion at this time. I heard a second. Anything you want to share about the amendment?
Just that this amendment clarifies that this ordinance would not apply to emergency vehicles or things that are contractually approved by Metro, things like that.
All righty. Is there any discussion on the motion to amend? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, and if I can go back to you, Mr. Coupin, for a motion to approve as amended.
Thank you, Madam President. Move as amended.
All right. Is there any further discussion on 1047 to approve on second reading as amended? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, this has passed its second of 3 readings. Next is Agenda Item 123, Ordinance BL 2025-1048, Sponsor Evans. This is an ordinance amending Title 16 of the Metro Code of Laws regarding fence regulations. Councilwoman Evans, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports, please.
For the report of Government Operations and Regulations, Chair Hill.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. On the amendment for Ms. Evans, we voted 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. Late filed amendment by Ms. Allen, 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. And then as amended with both amendments, 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
All righty. Back to you, Ms. Evans, to get the bill before us.
Thank you. I'd like to move approval, please.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. We've got the 2 amendments. I'd like to move the first amendment, please.
Okay, there is a motion to amend with the Evans amendment first. Is there a second? Okay, anything you want to share about that one?
Thank you. That's basically our wonderful attorney Wilson caught some issues and he just needed to make some corrections so that way we didn't have something in the record that had misspellings and things like that.
All righty, okay, some housekeeping there. Is there any discussion on the motion to amend with the Evans amendment? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, now at this juncture, Ms. Evans, whether by sponsor or yourself, because the amendment is late, we're going to have to request a suspension of the rules and go to Chair Cash. Is that something that you would like to do? Okay. Mr. Cash, did you all take up the late amendment of Ms. Allen for Ordinance 1048? It was Ms. Evans's ordinance.
Yes, we did, and we voted 6 in favor, 0 against.
Okay, so members, having heard the report of Chair Cash, is there any objection by the members to suspend the rules to take up this friendly late amendment by Ms. Allen? Okay, seeing none, the rules are suspended. And so, Ms. Evans, are you wanting to move the amendment?
Yes, I'd love to move the amendment and defer to Councilmember
Is there a
Allen.
second? All right, so we are on Ms. Allen's amendment, and Ms. Allen, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This amendment just adds a reference to the visibility requirements in Title 17. In my district, we have had fences get built and people said, oh, I had no idea I couldn't build it this tall. So we just want to make sure that people know that there's one more place to look.
Okay, I appreciate that. Is there any further discussion on Ms. Allen's amendment? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, Ms. Evans, do you seek to renew your motion to approve now with both the Evans and the Allen amendment?
Yes, I would love to renew my motion.
Okay, is there a second? Is there any discussion on this ordinance as amended with both the Evans and Allen amendments? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any voting no or abstaining? All right, this has passed its second of 3 readings as amended. All right, next is Agenda Item 125, Ordinance BL 2025-1050, sponsors Toombs, Vaux, Welsh, and Cupin. This is an ordinance approving an agreement between the Metro government and Nashville Riverfront Amphitheater LLC, an affiliate of Opry Entertainment Group, relating to management, operation, and maintenance of the West Riverfront Amphitheater and supporting grounds and buildings. Ms. Toombs, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Committee report. Budget and Finance voted to recommend a 1 meeting deferral, 11 in favor, 0 against, and 0 not voting.
Okay, and for the report of the Arts, Parks, Libraries, and Entertainment Committee, Vice Chair Welsh, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. The Apple Committee voted for a 1 meeting deferral, 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, and with that, by rule, with the 1 meeting deferral in committee, per Rule 8.1, that is deferred 1 meeting. Okay, next, Agenda Item 127, Ordinance BL 2025-1052, Sponsors Toombs, Horton, and Evans Siegel. This is an ordinance authorizing the abandonment of an unnamed right-of-way and utility easements off West Trinity Lane. Ms. Toombs, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Committee report.
Yep, for the report of the Planning and Zoning Committee. Chair Horton, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. The committee considered the amendment, voted in favor, 9 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting, and we voted in favor of the bill as amended, 9 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, and for the report of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, Chair Evans Siegel.
The Transportation and Infrastructure Committee voted on the amendment, 8 in favor, 0 against, and 0 not voting, and to approve as amended, 8 in favor, 0 against, and 0 not voting.
All right, with those committee reports in, it's back to you, Ms. Toombs, to get the bill before us. Go ahead.
Move for approval.
Is there a second? Okay.
Like to move the amendment.
All right, is there a second for that motion? All right, anything you need to say about the amendment?
Not unless you want me to.
Nope, no ma'am, you don't have to. Is there any discussion on the motion to amend? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? And if you'd renew your motion to approve as amended.
Move for approval as amended.
All righty, properly seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, this has passed its second of 3 readings as amended. And now we are on to section N of our agenda, bills on third reading that were not on consent. First among those, and these are companions to each other, 135 and 136. Special Counsel Darby, as there is an amendment on 135, do I need to take those separately? Okay, we are going to have to take them separately then. Okay, so 135, sponsor Toombs, ordinance BL 2025-862 is an ordinance to amend Title 17, the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government by changing from R8 to SP zoning for property located at West Trinity Lane, unnumbered, approximately 655 feet west of McKinley Street. This is 1 acre to permit 17 multifamily residential units. Ms. Toombs, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Do I need a committee report?
I know, typically on third reading, this is Title 17. What's up with that? Have we already gotten a report on this, the committee report, Chair Horton? It says it was approved at the Planning Commission, but I don't show, Planning and Zoning already gave its report on 9/15. Ms. Toombs, I apologize, I didn't see it there. No worries. So that report is in. You don't have to request it. Go ahead.
Move for approval.
All right, there's a motion to approve and it's properly seconded. Go ahead.
I'd like to move the amendment.
All right, anything you want to say about the amendment?
Yes, so typically I do not do, I don't do a lot of short-term rentals in District 2. One of the conditions that the Planning Commission put on the bill was that there would be no short-term rentals owner-occupied or non-owner-occupied. I had a community meeting for this project and the issue of short-term rentals was specifically discussed with the community and they were actually supportive.
Okay.
And so the compromise between myself and the applicant, it was that owner occupied would be allowed because if the underlying zoning is RM and if it was a straight RM rezone, you could do owner occupied short-term rentals. So the amendment allows for owner occupied and still keeps the prohibition against non-owner occupied.
All right, got it. Is there any discussion on the motion to amend as described by sponsor Toombs? Okay, seeing none, all in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Okay, any voting no or abstaining? All right. You're abstaining? Okay, Ms. Swara is an abstention on, I apologize, are we on the motion to amend still or, okay. So you are an abstention on the amendment, but you also wish to be an abstention on the subsequent? Okay, all right. So it's back to you now to renew your motion as amended. And I mean, if you want, I would say you can just throw in 863, the companion bill that requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings and put it all together. No? One's disapproved. Okay. So, all right. So special counsel, then, if you would just renew your motion as amended, and then I will clarify that with this amendment, that will require 27 votes and a roll call. Okay, go ahead.
Move for approval as amended.
Okay. All right, so this is on 862, colleagues. With this amendment, which you heard Ms. Toombs explain, this is technically now a disapproved bill, meaning that it requires 27 votes. And so we will need to do a roll call vote. Mr. Clerk, can you please open the vote? Okay, we are voting on Ms. Toombs' ordinance on third reading. It is 862. She has added an amendment, which she described to colleagues. But technically with that amendment, it is disapproved. So that means it needs 27 votes. Is every member seeking to vote? Have you voted? Mr. Clerk, are all the votes in? Are we waiting? Okay, all votes are in. Mr. Clerk, please show the vote. 27 in favor, none against, and 1 abstention. And so with that, 862 has passed its third reading as amended. Now, Ms. Toombs, separately, we have to go to 136. This is ordinance BL 2025-863. It requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings that were mentioned at the addresses in 862. Go ahead, Ms. Toombs.
Move for approval.
Okay, there is a motion to approve. Let's hold, members. Okay, we are literally within like just a few bills. We want to retain our quorum, please. So there's a motion to approve. I heard a second. Is there any discussion on 863? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
What? Pardon?
What?
Yep, Ms. Suarez, you're recognized.
Thank you. I was just going to ask if this is an short term as well.
This is simply the materials restriction bill that is required by state law to be companion to the other. So no worries there,
All right,
okay?
thank you.
We were in the middle of the vote, right? All in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, that's where we were. So this ordinance has also passed its third and final reading. Next is agenda item 137, ordinance BL 2025-954, sponsor Coopin, Allen, Rutherford, and Stiles. This is an ordinance to amend Title VI of the Metro Code to amend the definition of entertainment transportation vehicles and to regulate the operation of seated sightseeing vehicles. Mr. Coopin, you are recognized.
Move approval, please.
It's properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on this ordinance? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay. We'll have to go on a roll call because it is on third and final reading, and any vote no has to be so recorded. Mr. Clerk, if you would please open the vote for Mr. Coopin's ordinance 954 regarding entertainment transportation vehicles and seated sightseeing vehicles. Bless you. All votes are in. Mr. Clerk, please show the vote. This ordinance has passed its third and final reading with 27 votes in favor, 1 vote against, and 0 abstentions. All right, hang in, colleagues. I think we only have 2 more bills. Next is agenda item 140, ordinance BL 2025-1009, sponsors Cap, Toombs, Gamble, and Allen. This is an ordinance approving a lease agreement by and between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Metropolitan Board of Public Education, and KIP Nashville, a Tennessee nonprofit corporation. Mr. Cap, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Move approval.
Is there a second? Okay, there's a motion to approve, and it's properly seconded. All in favor, please say aye. Any voting no? Okay, with no votes, that means we do have to do it by roll call because it is on its third and final reading. Mr. Clerk, if you would please load the vote for Mr. Cap's ordinance 1009. Mr. Clerk, are all votes in? Ms. Swar, are you seeking to vote? All votes are in. Mr. Clerk, please show the vote. This has passed with 26 votes in favor, 2 against, and 0 abstentions. Next is agenda item 142, ordinance BL 2025-1011, sponsors Coupon, Toombs, Gamble, Huffman, Horton, Benedict, and Hill. This is an ordinance approving 2 lease agreements between the Metro Government of Nashville and Davidson County and PNH Properties LLC for use of space located at 120 3rd Avenue North and 211 Commerce Street. Mr. Coupon, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam President. Move approval.
Okay, there's a motion to approve, properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this matter? Okay, seeing no one seeking to be recognized for purposes of discussion, we'll try this by voice. All in favor, please say aye. Any voting no? Ms. Welsh is raising her hand. It's okay. For that reason, we will need to have a roll call vote because it is on third and final reading. So, Mr. Clerk, if you would please load the vote for Mr. Coupon's ordinance 1011. Hang in, colleagues. This will be the last item on our agenda this evening. Mr. Clerk, are all the votes in? With all votes in, please show the vote, Mr. Clerk. All right, this bill has passed with 26 votes in favor, 1 vote against, and 1 abstention. That concludes our agenda for the evening. Is there a motion to adjourn? Okay, we are adjourned.
This
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.